Welcome to Telltale Books videos. I'm Greg. I'm going to be discussing in this video another of the very early works of Charlotte Bronte. This video will be going live on YouTube on the anniversary of Charlotte Bronte's birth on August 21st of 2024. And it would be nice to have landed on a much more substantial work for her birthday, but this is where I'm at in my attempt to read everything I can get my hands on by the Brontes in order of, writing or publication. Some of the stuff was never really professionally published. Conversations being one of the very early teenage works. I think she was like 15 years old when she wrote this little piece, and it was put into the magazine that her brother and her had put together. So this short piece, not really a story per se, was originally it's the ninth piece. And it looks like I skipped one. Number 8 is A Day at Perry's Palace. Oh well. This is the ninth piece in my bibliography of Charlotte Bronte, published August 23rd, or written August 23rd, 1830, published in their Young Men's magazine that she and her brother Branwell were putting together in October of 1830. And I'm reading this in a Delphi Classics ebook of the complete works of the Brontes. Charlotte, Emily, and Anne and Branwell are all together in this one volume. Supposedly everything they wrote. I gotta trust it because I'm not a professor. I don't really know, but I'm going by this as my guide here, and that's where I read Conversations. The story is just about a group of men that meet at a place called Bravy's Inn, and they have a conversation. And the story ends with them splitting up and going their own ways. And the conversation is just small talk, really. So it's kind of a weird piece. I didn't find it all that interesting. The writing format makes it seem like a play. The way it's structured is the way a play would be structured. So it's probably maybe a part of a larger play that she was planning, but she didn't get very far. I don't know. At this point so far, I've read 8 or 9 of these short teenage works by Charlotte Bronte. So far, I haven't gotten into anything by Anne or Emily Bronte. And the only pieces by Branwell were written in collaboration with Charlotte. So Charlotte seems to be the mastermind here. This seems to be the one that's really getting into this, at least at a young age, and moving forward with writing. But what she's written so far just isn't very impressive, at least not from where I'm sitting today, especially since I've read Jane Eyre. These little things just don't seem, they seem very much like juvenile works. They seem very much like the sort of thing that any teenager would and could write, not the work of somebody that's going to become one of the most famous and brilliant writers in the history of English literature. So I'm at this point, I'm not seeing where she's going to in the future. I'm not seeing Jane Eyre in any way in any of this stuff. So I can't really recommend for people to bother reading it. It's interesting to me, but even for somebody trying to understand where Jane Eyre came from, how she would end up writing Jane Eyre. At this point, I'm just not seeing it. These things are things that could probably be forgotten and nobody would notice the difference. So, have you read this Conversations story by Charlotte Bronte? Have you read any of the other juvenilia of Charlotte Bronte? Tell me what you think about this. Were you impressed by any of it, or are you like me, scratching your head, going, "How did this person ever become a great writer?" um, but I suppose we should give her time. She's in her early teens at this point and learning. And each of these, I suppose, does go towards building the skills that would eventually let her write a great novel. But leave your comments if you have read this or have any other thoughts about Charlotte Bronte on the um, anniversary of her birth. And come on back for more. Pretty soon we're going to start getting into more mature works by all of the Brontes, and things will start getting more interesting. I promise. I got to push through these little ones first. But I hope you'll come back and join me.